to view it online, but it's hard to hear.
5:18 p.m. Would you please rise and join me in the pledge of allegiance?
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Very good. Thank you for joining us for regular session, Monday, December 20. Mr. Zerlo, would you please conduct a roll call?
Mr. Castine.
Present.
Mr. Hall. Here. Mr. Henry.
Here.
Mr. Hughes.
Here.
Mr. Kretzer. Here. Mr. Perrier is asked to be excused this evening. Mr. Potiker.
Here.
Mr. Timmons is asked to be excused this evening. Ms. Waldron.
Here.
Thank you. All legislators have received a copy of the stenographer's minutes of the December 8th, 2021 regular session. If there are no additions, deletions, or corrections, I will entertain a motion to accept the minutes as proposed. Motion by legislator Kretzer, second by legislator Hughes. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. At this time, I'd like to invite John Canosa, the Director of Public Health, to the podium to honor him with a Distinguished Service Award. Legislator Hughes, would you please join me? Right over here. Give me a call. Thank you. Come on up here, Wendell. Thank you, sir. Get over here. Get away from my phone. Get away from my phone.
It's your party?
Okay. As we all know, John Canosa is going to be retiring very soon, the end of this month. So is this your last meeting? This will be it, right? So this is John's last meeting. We all know that John's done an exemplary job for the, 25 years? 20 years. This John's been here. He started out as the engineer, worked his way up to director of health for us. I knew John back when I was town supervisor. And I called on John a lot, and I called on his health department a lot to help me through all boil water and just dog bites and rabies and all kinds of things. And John was always there, and John's always done a great job. We're fortunate in this county to have people like John Canosa to head our departments. John's department, these last 18 months, 20 months, have been under fire, as we all know, from this pandemic. They have more than risen to the occasion to do what needed to be done, to help people, to save lives. That's not an exaggeration. To save people's lives, not just in our county either, but John deals with folks from all over. His department does as well. I know that we're going to miss John's leadership. I know that we're going to miss his steady hand. I am going to miss John's directness. When John says no, he means no. And John's not afraid to tell you exactly the way that it is. And I appreciate that. And it's always been good advice. I know that he has represented you well. I know he has represented this county well. He is going to be very difficult to replace. We appreciate all that he's done. Now what we have here is a Distinguished Service Award to John from the Clinton County Legislature. It says it's given with sincere appreciation for your outstanding leadership and community through the COVID-19 pandemic. But that doesn't say it all. That doesn't talk about all of the other things that you did. John, I know this is glass. I hope when you put that up there, you won't just see this. What I want you to see through this box are all of the people out here, all of the people in the county that present this to you with deep appreciation for all that you've done. I hope that you will remember us when you look on this and the folks of this county. I know that we will remember you. Thank you for all you do. anything. I couldn't ask for a better person to show me who you guys do.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you.
Thank you. It's been a true pleasure. I've enjoyed working with all of you on COVID these last 2 years. Truly though, I'm not just being humble. It's been a whole department effort, as well as our partners, emergency services, mental health, ESS, the sheriffs, you name it. So we're still fighting the good fight. So, but it's been everybody on deck working hard. So thank you, gentlemen.
You're welcome.
I appreciate it very much. Picture?
Wendell, do you want to get a picture?
Sure.
Probably out of this podium's way.
Get out of the podium.
Yeah.
Come in. Mark's podium. All right. Try to look left hand.
Ready?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
Thank you, gentlemen. I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you. You need any report from me or anything? No.
We tricked
I
you.
came with
We
all
tricked
that.
you.
I know, I listened to the guy, you know? So, thank you very much, everybody.
John, you're an awesome man.
Yes, thank you, John.
Thank you, everybody. Much
Thank you.
appreciated. You have a good night. I'll miss working with you all. Thank you very much.
Thanks, John.
Especially Bobby over there, you know?
We're gonna miss you.
Thank you. Still got enough.
Good evening, John.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, at this time, I'd like to invite Glenn Cutter and Mike Zerlo, our director, Glenn Cutter, the Director of Planning, Mike Zerlo, our County Administrator, to the podium. Mr. Zerlo will be presenting Mr. Cutter with a plaque honoring him for 30 years of more than loyal service to our county.
So I think everybody knows that tradition here in the county is to honor our 30-year employees with a little token of our appreciation, and their name will be on the plaque to my right for perpetuity. It is always a pleasure when someone chooses to stay in local government for that amount of time. No one gets rich working for county government, but it's certainly a badge of honor that someone wants to improve the lives of the folks in Clinton County. Glenn's certainly done that. Glenn, everybody knows, is the gentle giant who has all the answers. Glenn probably has about another year with us, and we're going to miss him. Certainly when Rodney retired, there was some big shoes to fill, and Glenn did not skip a beat. So it is with sincere honor that I offer this token of our appreciation. I'll read it to the board. It says, in appreciation and recognition of 30 years of dedicated service, this award is presented to Glenn Cutter by the Clinton County Legislature on behalf of the County of Clinton. So Glenn, it's truly an honor. Well, I am going to put you on the spot, Glenn, so you have to say something.
No, it's funny. Yeah, 30 years ago, it's a long time now. But one of the things I always think about is when I first started, we had one computer in the office for all of us to try to work with. Things like that, and there was no email and all that. The changes that have happened in 30 years is kind of amazing. You don't think that's going to happen in your lifetime, that there'll be that much change. But one of the best things about, I felt like with our office and our department, was we felt like utility people. So we got involved in all kinds of different projects over the years. A lot of times it was some disaster related thing, so it wasn't always good, but it was fun to work on and try to get us back to where we want to be. Thanks.
No, you do not get me words.
I will now recognize anyone in the audience who may wish to share their thoughts and concerns with the legislature. Please raise your hand if you wish to be recognized, state your name and address for the record. And in accordance with the rules of order, speakers will be limited to 5 minutes. Is there anybody who wishes to speak? Anyone else?
Glenn, your box is up there. That's recyclable too, Glenn.
We will now go to committee reports.
Chairman, I will say that we know Glenn is a student of government, but we should at least give him the opportunity to get while getting us good. Don't feel as though you need to say.
Here in case you have questions
Take
on
your meetings and run.
which I think is fairly simple. The resolution we have is,
Thank you, guys.
All
okay.
right, thank you.
We will now go to committee reports. I will call on the chairperson of each committee and I'll set the order by committee, starting with buildings and grounds. Mr. Timmons, do you have that report? Mr.
I do. On behalf of Legislator Timmons, the Buildings and Grounds Committee meeting scheduled for Monday, December 13th was canceled. James Cleveland, the superintendent of Buildings and Grounds, did provide an update on the Government Center roof project, stating it is near completion. All of the flashing on the perimeter is installed and is currently being installed on the penthouse roof. After that is completed, there will be a pitch pocket installed for future air conditioning installation in the computer room and punch list items to follow. The Buildings and Grounds Committee was polled on resolutions 970 and 971, which are on tonight's agenda. End of report.
Thank you, sir. Children and Family Services.
Thank you, Chairman. The Children and Family Services Committee has not met since the last regular session in the report.
Thank you. Economic Development, Legislator Walter.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, the Economic Development and County Operations Committee has not met since the last regular session. Resolutions number 972 and 973 have been placed on the agenda upon the recommendation of the committee. End of report.
Ma'am. Finance, Legislator
Yeah, I got it, Chairman.
Timmons, do you have that?
Yes, sir. On behalf of Chairman Timmons, the Finance Committee has not met since last regular session. However, a public hearing on the 2022 tentative budget was held on Wednesday, December 15th. There have been no changes to that tentative budget. Resolution 965 on tonight's agenda authorizes approval of that tentative budget as presented. The Finance Committee was also polled on Resolution 974, which is on today's agenda.
Thank you, sir. Health Committee, Legislator Hughes.
The Health Committee has not met since the last regular session. End of report. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Human Services Committee, and that is Legislator Perrier, Mr. Zerlo.
Yes, on behalf of Legislator Perrier, the Human Services Committee has not met since the House regular session. The committee was polled on resolutions 975 through 981 on tonight's agenda. End of report, Chairman.
Thank you. Personnel, the Personnel Committee has not met since the last regular session. Resolutions 982 through 1002 have been placed on the agenda upon the recommendations of the committee. And the report.
Yeah, just a reminder, that's a little odd. The committee actually met and approved all of these resolutions. They were just at a meeting that happened before the previous regular session, and the timing was such that those resolutions needed to be properly vetted, and that's why they're on tonight's agenda as opposed to the regular session immediately following that personnel.
Thank you. Plattsburgh International Airport, Legislator Hall.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Plattsburgh International Airport Committee meeting scheduled for earlier today was canceled. The committee was polled on resolutions 1003 to 1009 on today's agenda. End of report.
Thank you. Public Safety Committee and Legislator Bastow.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Public Safety Committee has not met since the last regular session. The committee was polled on resolutions 1010 through 1014 on today's agenda. End of report.
Thank you very much. And Transportation, Legislator Kratzer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Transportation Committee met on Monday, December 13th. Carl Weiss, the Highway Superintendent, was present to discuss several resolutions, including awarding bid for transit mix concrete for the years 2022 and 2023, and awarding bids for automotive supplies, bench stock items for the year 2022. Mr. Weiss also discussed several items, including the effects of the infrastructure bill, CDL driver's license, Federal Motor Carrier Entry-Level Driver Training Program, converting the streetlights to LED on Commodore Thomas McDonough Highway per NYSEG agreement, and the General Leroy Manor Road accident of December 4th, 2021 in the town of Dannemora. Resolutions 1015 through 1027 have been placed on today's agenda upon the recommendation of the committee, and that's the end of the report.
Thank you very much. We'll run quickly through the liaison reports. Board of Health. No report, although I will have something for the Board of Health later in executive session. Chamber of Commerce, Legislature Chapter.
Just a couple quick tidbits, Chairman. Beginning tomorrow, December 21st, returning Canadians who have come to the U.S. will once again need a negative PCR test, even if their visit is less than 72 hours. The PCR test must be administered in the U.S. This is both frustrating and a step backwards. The Chamber continues to engage in the dialogue with officials and partners on both sides of the border. Quick reminder, upstate minimum wage rises to $13.20 per hour as of December 31st. As part of New York State Department of Labor grant, the Chamber is partnering with CV Tech and Clinton Community College to offer free medical office assistant training and advanced manufacturing training to community members who are unemployed or underemployed. You can find more information at northcountrychamber.com. And in partnership with the Adirondack North Country Association, ANCA, the North Country Chamber of Commerce is offering a youth virtual digital marketing training series. The cost is $75. The program is valued at over $3,000, but only the cost is $75. More information can be gotten at northcountrychamber.com. And even after passing Small Business Saturday, the Chamber, as always, continues to promote shopping locally in this holiday season and encouraging everyone to check out the 2021 Adirondack Coast Holiday Gift Guide for the last minute local shopping guides. End of report.
Thank you, sir. Discipline review agreement, yeah? Intercounty, Legislator Walter.
No meeting in December, sir.
Thank you. LC and LG Regional Planning Board, Legislator Director reviews.
No report.
Okay, thank you. Workforce Development Board, Legislator Director.
No report.
Thank you, sir. Staff members, Ms. Geller, do you have anything?
No report.
Mr. Zerlo.
I got two things, Chairman. The first is, as everybody knows, the organizational meeting is set for the 4th of January. Last year, one of the resolutions on that agenda is adopting the rules of order for the following year. And last year, we changed our meeting dates in the months of July and August to one meeting per month. And I'm just trying to, before we send out the rules of order for 2022 for your review, I'm trying to get the legislature's view to see if that worked well, did not work well, if it's something you want to continue, because I will not have your audience again before we send out those rules of order for 2022.
It worked well for me, I don't know.
I make a motion to keep that as we can.
Is that okay? So we normally move those dates to instead of the 1st and the 4th on those 2 months, in the middle of the month, to try to reduce the time frame between regular sessions. That's okay with everybody? That's how the rules of order will read for 2022. The second item I have is Kim sent, I think, as part of the finance agenda, out a memo regarding our electrical rates. And I'm going to let her provide some details, but we will need some direction on how we want to move forward with our electrical rates.
So the county is currently a member of the Municipal Electricity and Gas Alliance, MEGA, and that MEGA assists municipalities in procuring electricity and natural gas supplies. So MEGA currently has a contract with Constellation New Energy, and we have a contract with Constellation until the end of 2022. We locked into to a pretty low rate at 0.04108 per kilowatt hour, based on the kilowatt hours of the county buildings that are not in the city of Plattsburgh. Our estimated bill is about $290,000 a year in electricity costs for those buildings outside of the city of Plattsburgh. So as everything is kind of increasing, inflation and things, our rep from Constellation reached out and said we may want to consider starting January 1st a blended rate versus continuing our low rate until the end of 2022. That really will only pretty much change our rate to this blended rate to start getting that increase. So when the end of 2022 happens, we're not hit with this giant increase in rate per kilowatt hour. We don't know if it's going to increase that significantly after 2022, but that's kind of what they're trending right now. If we did switch to the blended rate in January, we did not budget for that. That would be an increase in about $52,000 in our budget for 2022 if we change to this blended rate.
So traditionally, I will tell you, when faced with this situation in years past, stability means a lot to the county. And this gentleman could be 100% accurate. And the rates through the remainder of our contract could rise drastically. But we don't know that as a perfect fact as of this point. So I know traditionally we have stayed with our locked-in rate and then went to market again when our contract is due. What this gentleman is trying to do is trying to ease the increase towards the end of life of our current contract. So we'll pay more, but that we may not get the whole benefit of that if the rates at the end of our contract don't rise to the level that he's anticipating them rising to. So your choice is stay with the current rate, pay the lower rate now, and deal with the future when we go out to bid through our municipal contract, at the end of 23, So that has been offered to us. I don't know what the board's desire is.
So, if I understand correctly, regardless of whether we pay this blended rate or not, it's not going to affect what that new rate is.
That's correct. It does not have a bearing on what the new rate turns out to be. What it is trying to essentially buffer what the new rate would be.
So when I asked, can you just tell me exactly what's the cost savings for the county? He said, there's really not a cost savings. It's just starting to pay more earlier. Because if our contract ends at the end of 2022, we could have this super high rate, and he doesn't want us to be basically sticker shocked.
But we lose the advantage we currently have.
Exactly.
It just doesn't
make any sense.
Is there any advantage for us?
I don't know, maybe David can speak to it.
If you give me the floor, so
I will just a second. Legislature, maybe he'll have a question as well.
Yeah, that was my question. What is our advantage? If we don't get any credit for the money we're giving them, we know it's gonna jump, so why pay more in between? I don't understand.
So, here's my opinion on it, and I'm in the electrical business, but that doesn't mean this is gospel. Every year now, for like the last 5-6 years, there's been all kinds of renewable energies coming on board, and it's gonna happen again this year. There's solar panels are coming on. There's a lot of generating stations, hydro generating stations that put their dams into maintenance because there was a huge drop with the pandemic in the use of electricity. So allow them to do a lot of maintenance on their generators. A lot of those are coming back on. I'm not sure that this guy is really telling you the truth, but if you change right now, you're gonna erode away all the savings that you opted to go for the current year we're in. And
You're essentially locking into, here's the answer to your question. You're locking into a blended rate such that when the rates go up, you're still paying lower than you otherwise would have.
If it goes up.
If it goes up.
If it goes up.
Well,
Now,
how can we go to market, correct?
Well, we go to market through Mega. Mega is our consortium Mega actually goes out and gets the bids, and then we're, without going out to bid ourselves, we're able to use the Mega contract.
If that 50,000 increase was applied in the next year to keep those rates from jumping up, that makes sense, but if it's just, if there's no.
He will tell you that 50,000 increase is technically in the blended rate. You are getting a little benefit in the blended rate as opposed to not having the blended rate at the end of the contract.
Like you're prepaying next year.
Well, I don't think you're prepaying. You're locking into a rate that will be lower than it otherwise would be.
Perhaps.
Perhaps.
Right.
So if we lock into this blended rate and the new rate is higher, propose it, like if we didn't lock into it, are we keeping this rate and that for the whole next contract period?
The blended rate?
Yes.
Yes, you would sign a contract for this new blended rate for 2 or 3 more years.
So then there is a potential savings.
Correct.
Okay, so now it's making a little.
There is a potential savings, but the savings is based on
It's a gamble.
Yeah.
the rates going up. I mean, I don't know what the rates are gonna do, I'm not an economist.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you that it's basically extending your contract, but it costs to extend your contract. I don't know if it's a year, 2 years.
But potentially
Our
savings.
options are
I'm
either
sure if it's a
2 or
3-year
3 more
contract,
years.
it's even more expensive than if it's a 2-year contract or a 1-year contract extension. It's
Correct.
basically a contract extension. Constellation isn't the only company out there. There's hundreds of companies that sell power. And I'm sure Constellation took this account away from someone else who's now trying to sell their power at a lower price to fill in where they lost an account.
So there's a possibility we could save money if we lock in.
We'd have to save at least $52,000.
And if you go out for an RFP or you use a company that actually inserts those rates for you, you could end up getting the same rate or very close to the same rate you have right now in a year, and that all could have been for naught.
And I'm not a gambler, so.
Well, that's, you say that facetiously, but we don't like to gamble. We like to understand, like, we're passing a budget tonight that would be $52,000 short if we opted to change at this point.
Well, I don't. I mean, I understand the other one. I mean, I hate to say, if I can't understand it, then I don't want to do it, but I kind of don't get it. I do understand where we're at now. Well, I don't, John?
Like I said, it does seem like a gamble, and why spend that extra 50,000 if it's really not going to be advantageous to us? There's no way that we're gonna know until the new rate's out.
Yeah. The budget's already done. We already have it paid for in the budget. If next year the cost of electricity does go up 52,000 or 59,000, we'll be able to relook at that and tax accordingly that we need and have that in next year's budget. My position is I would stay with the cost savings that you have locked in and get the biggest bang for your buck. And then you'll be going out with an RFP. Everything could change. The economy, we could have a recession and that'll change everything. A lot of new generation coming online. There was a point a few years ago where there was literally a glut of power where the generators were being shut down because they had nobody to sell the power to. So we're not quite, the expansion isn't happening in America quite as rapid as to like.
Do we need a motion in some
Push
fashion?
away.
No, we don't have to, the only motion you'd have to do is if you want to change.
Okay.
So everybody will get a straw shake of the head anyway. Everybody's good to stay where we're at? Any objections to that? Okay, good enough for you? Okay, anything else, sir?
No.
Well, I guess, may I have one question?
Yeah,
One
you
more
may.
question. Has this happened before?
Yes.
And is this the decision?
The same decision that previous legislators have made, legislatures have made.
I appreciate that, thank you.
They listen to your advice. Okay, chairperson's report. In my report, will require an executive session to discuss personnel matters. So may I have a motion to enter into executive session? Motion by legislator Hughes, second by legislator Castine. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? You can stay. If it's okay with the legislature, you can stay. If it's okay with me. All right, we will enter into executive session.
Now,
Right now.
Right now.
right now.
Sir.
All right.
Hey.
I don't know.
Okay. Everybody ready for resolutions? Before voting on the resolutions, I want to note that the majority of the resolutions have been thoroughly discussed by the appropriate committee, and the legislature is taking action tonight based in large part on the recommendation of those committees.
Diana?
Mr. Gurlow, would you please read the title of tonight's resolutions?
Certainly. Resolution 965, adopting the 2022 Clinton County Budget Legislature.
Motion by legislator Henry, second by legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 966, authorizing 2022 contracts with budget-approved contract agencies legislature.
Motion, legislator Conacher, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 967, approving Northern Insurance Agency as the broker of record for 2022 property and casualty insurance legislature.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Castine. Discussion.
I just want to point out real quick, that is not the amount of money we pay our broker. And that is the amount of money of our premium for our insurance. I know that's a little confusing, but.
Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Ms. Lord.
Resolution 968, establishing date for organizational meeting, legislature.
Motion, legislator Hughes, second, legislator Potter. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Reminder, we'll send a notification out to remind everybody that we'll be having the legislative photo prior to the organization. On the fourth. Resolution 969, honoring Larry Barcombe for his years of dedicated public service.
Legislator Castine, 4-3. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 970, authorizing various contracts for the year 2022 buildings and grounds.
Motion, legislator Henry, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 971, authorizing contract amendment with A.W. Farrell & Son Buildings and Grounds.
Motion, legislator Henry, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 972, authorizing contract amendment with Architectural and Engineering Design Associates Legislature.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 973, approving determination of state environmental quality review type 2 action and National Environmental Policy Act categorically excluded action for Community Development Block Grant CARES Act project, Planning Department.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution 974, authorizing payment of 2022 membership dues, Treasurer's Office.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 975, authorizing payment of membership dues, nursing home.
Motion, legislator Hughes, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 976, amending resolution 845 dated November 10, 2021, titled authorizing various contracts for the year 2022 nursing home.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 977, amending resolution 845 dated November 10, 2021, titled authorizing various contracts for the year 2022 nursing home.
Motion, legislator Hughes, second, legislator Kretzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 978, authorizing the purchasing agent to solicit a request for proposals for a physical therapist nursing home.
Motion, legislator Kratzer, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 979, authorizing an increase in room and board rates for skilled nursing facility residents nursing home.
Motion, legislator Hughes, second, legislator Kratzer. Discussion.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Question, what did the rates go up to?
Right here, so, this is the semi-private and quad room,
$10 a day.
$10 a day. We still are, well,
Way below
yes,
everybody else. Thank you.
and this is for private pay, which is not our biggest, local business.
Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 980, authorizing New York State Creative Aging Grant Application and Acceptance, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Kratzer, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 981, authorizing contract with North Country Home Services, Office for the Aging.
Motion, legislator Hughes, second, legislator Kratzer. Discussion. Roll call.
Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 982, approving backfill of permanent full-time motor equipment operator 2, solid waste.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 983, approving creation of permanent full-time motor equipment operator mechanic, solid waste.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 984, approving backfill of permanent part-time motor vehicle license clerk, county clerk.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 985, approving backfill of permanent full-time motor equipment operator 3, highway.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Resolution 986, approving backfill of permanent full-time motor equipment operator 2, highway.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 987, approving backfill of permanent full-time motor equipment operator 1, highway.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 988, approving backfill of permanent full-time principal account clerk, highway.
Motion, legislator Henry, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 989, approving backfill of permanent full-time senior account clerk typist, highway.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 990, approving backfill of permanent full-time caseworker, social services.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 991, approving backfill of permanent full-time caseworker, social services.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 992, approving backfill of permanent full-time account clerk position, social services.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 993, approving backfill of permanent full-time airport maintenance coordinator, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. Oh, let me back that up. Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 994, approving backfill of permanent full-time airport firefighter position, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Henry. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Right, left side of the chamber here. Resolution 995, approving extension of temporary part-time health facility controller nursing home.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Very good, Mr. Bell.
Resolution 996, approving backfill of permanent full-time nurses aide nursing home.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 997, approving backfill of permanent full-time nurses aide nursing home.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 998, approving reclassification of a vacant permanent part-time public health nutrition educator down to a permanent part-time program assistant, health department.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 999, approving creation of 2 temporary part-time medical clerk typist positions, health department.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Castine. Discussion.
I believe this is all COVID grant funded, Kim? Yes.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1000, approving creation of 2 temporary part-time registered professional nurse positions, health department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion.
Just under discussion, also 100% for the COVID grant.
Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1001, approving creation of permanent, full-time public health educator, health department.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1002, approving backfill of a permanent part-time traffic safety program specialist, sheriff's department.
Motion, legislator Waldron, second, legislator Castine. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1003, authorizing contract with Hoyle, Tanner and Associates for independent fee estimate services for the rehabilitation of runway 1735, lighting and reconstruction of airfield guidance signage, design project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion.
Yeah, for those of you not on airport, we are required, we have our consulting engineers obviously at the airport, and once they do the work, we've got to send it to a third-party engineering to see if it's within the acceptable range that the FAA will fund. So that's what the Hoyle Tanner resolution is.
Where was it? Roll call.
Mr. Potiker?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 1004, authorizing contract with Hoyle, Tanner and Associates for independent fee estimate service for update airfield pavement conditions indices survey, design project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Potiker. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiker? Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 1005, authorizing various contracts for the year 2022, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiker?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 1006, authorizing the purchasing agent to reject and resolicit bids for the airport fuel farm facility project, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Potiker. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiker?
Yes.
Ms. Walters?
Yes.
Resolution 1007, amending Resolution 778 dated October 27, 2021, titled Authorizing Lease Agreement with Aviation Technical Support LLC, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiker?
Yes.
Ms. Walters?
Yes.
Resolution 1008, amending Resolution 901 dated November 17, 2021, titled Authorizing Lease Agreement with the United States of America General Services Administration, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Potiker. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiker?
Yes.
Ms. Walters?
Yes.
Resolution 1009, authorizing various contracts for year 2022, Plattsburgh International.
Motion, legislator Hall, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Potter,
Yes.
Ms. Walter.
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1010, awarding requests for proposals for jail physician, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Potter,
Yes.
Ms. Walter.
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1011, awarding bids for inmate clothing, janitorial supplies, and personal care items for the year 2022, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Potter. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1012, amending resolution number 393 dated May 22nd, 2019, titled authorizing contract with Southworth Milton Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Walter.
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1013, authorizing contract with Clinton, Essex, Ward, and Washington Counties Board of Cooperative Educational Services, also known as Champlain Valley Educational Services, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 1014, amending resolution 696 dated September 22nd, 2021, titled authorizing contract with various school districts, Sheriff's Department.
Motion, legislator Castine, second, legislator Hall. Discussion. Roll call.
Potter?
Yes.
Ms. Walter?
Yes.
Resolution 1015, awarding bid for transit mixed concrete for the years 2022 and 2023 highway.
Motion, legislator Cresser, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1016, awarding bids.
Do better than that.
Awarding bids, I'm eating half of my mask. Awarding bids for automotive supplies, bench stock items for the year 2022 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Potiphar. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1017, awarding bids for rental of equipment and manpower for the year 2022 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1018, awarding bids for crushed stone, sand, and gravel for the years 2022 and 2023 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Potiphar. Discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1019, awarding bid for joint and crack sealant with asphalt cement for the years 2022 and 2023 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Potiphar. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiphar?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Resolution 1020, awarding bid for tack coat for the years 2022 and 2023 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiphar?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1021, authorizing contract extension for asphalt concrete materials and delivery for the year 2022 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Potiphar. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiphar?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1022, authorizing various contracts for the year 2022 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Potiphar. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Potiphar?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1023, authorizing an engineering services agreement with Barton & Judas DPC for final design and construction support relative to the replacement of the True Brook Road Bridge over True Brick Bridge over the True Brook, bridge identification number 3358320 highway.
Motion, legislator Kretzer, second, legislator Hughes. Discussion.
Can I second that motion as well?
Yes, ma'am, you may.
I mentioned that when we made those.
Motion by legislator Kretzer, seconded by legislator Hughes and Waldron. Roll call.
Mr. Conacher?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron? Resolution 1024, authorizing an engineering services agreement with Barton and Judas, DPC, for final design and construction support relative to the replacement of County Route 1 Standish Road Bridge over the Separator Brook, bridge identification number 336-3270 highway.
Motion legislator Kretzer, second legislator Potiker and Waldron.
Please.
Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Conacher?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Do you give all those seconds, Tim?
Yep.
Resolution 1025, authorizing 2021-2022 round accelerated transit capital application and acceptance, Clinton County Public Transit.
Motion legislator Kretzer, second legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Conacher?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1026, authorizing the implementation and funding in the first instance 100% of the federal aid and state Marchicelli program aid eligible costs of a transportation federal aid project and appropriating funds therefore highway.
Motion legislator Kretzer, second legislator Potiker. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Conacher?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1027, authorizing an engineering services agreement with Barton and Judas DPC for final design and construction support relative to the replacement of the Union Falls Road Bridge over the Saranac River, bridge identification number 333-5670 highway.
Motion legislator Kretzer, second legislator Hughes. Discussion. Roll call.
I think Ms. Waldron would like a second on that.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yes,
Okay.
Well, she's gonna have the nicest bridges in the county.
I think you missed the last one.
Not
No, I didn't want to overdo it, I let that
Yeah,
go.
the last one was Union Falls too, so.
Motion by Kretzer, second by Hughes and Waldron. Roll call.
Mr. Conacher?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1028, authorizing the county treasurer to establish an appropriation and corresponding revenue for the fiscal year 2021 State Homeland Security Program Grant Emergency Services.
Motion legislator Castine, second legislator Waldron. Discussion. Roll call.
Mr. Conacher?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Resolution 1029, authorizing the county treasurer to close various capital projects treasurer's office.
Motion legislator Hall, second legislator Potiker. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried.
Resolution 1030, authorizing the county treasurer to increase appropriation and corresponding revenue for the Youth Court Grant Youth Bureau.
Motion legislator Castine, second legislator Hall. Discussion? Roll call.
Conacher?
Yes.
Ms. Waldron?
Yes.
Carried.
Chairman, that brings us to the last resolution of the evening. Resolution, better check your phone.
I will, I've been checking.
Okay. Resolution 1031, approving temporary appointment of an interim public health director, health department, and this resolution, as it currently stands, contains blanks, so.
Mr. Chairman,
I have nothing yet. Yes,
at this time, I'd like to ask for a recess for approximately 20 minutes.
I have a motion for recess. Do I have a second? I have a second by legislator Castine. Any discussion? All in favor? We are in recess. Thank you, Mr. Hall.
Oh, you're gonna be drinking, huh?
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? We're back in recess, or we are back from recess to regular session.
So I would like to make a motion to adjourn this meeting until 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, at which time we will vote to appoint an interim director.
We have a motion to adjourn to continue later.
Excuse me, could we use,
Tomorrow morning?
Via Zoom.
can we use the word adjourn? That sounds like adjourning is adjourning.
I'm not-
We should be recessing.
No, we're not recessing. We are adjourning to continue later. Adjourning to continue later.
We're ending it to
Not
continue
saying
later,
adjourn.
okay. I'm not a
I'll
lawyer.
say recess. We are recessing to continue later, but that's not accurate.
Well, no, whatever, as long as it's legal, I don't care.
Second that motion.
I have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? I will I'll see you all tomorrow at 10 a.m. Anything further to come before the legislature? Yes, sir.
Who will send this Zoom invitation?
Kim K.
Kim K.
Reconvene, thank you very much. We are going to reconvene our meeting from last night. You have the resolution in front of you. We spoke about it last night. Resolution 1031, approving the temporary appointment of an interim public health director, PCN 2001, Health Department. May I have a motion? I have a motion for Legislator Waldron, second by Legislator Hall. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Rick's waving.
Rick's waving. Okay, and hearing no opposed, no opposition, is that correct? All right.
7-0-3, Chairman. Resolution's carried.
The resolution is carried. Is there anything further that you would like to discuss? Because if not, we're going to be done. Motion to adjourn. Motion by Legislator Walton, second by Legislator Crutcher. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carried. Thank you all. Jackie, thank you very much. We appreciate it. Goodbye.
Hey, Mark, before you go,